Hey everyone, it's the Cinema Dude, and welcome back to my channel. Today we are back again in the movie room, and we are going to be going back to the past to look at my VHSs. Yes, we are going to look at my VHS collection. Now we are looking at some more obscure and kind of hard to find stuff that is not on DVD or VHS. Or if it is, the DVD is super expensive and possibly out of print. So, I've showed you guys before my other kind of VHSs. We have some right there. Some horror stuff. Got some science fiction. Got my Star Wars box set. And if we swing around over here, we have some Rankin Bass holiday specials, Disney stuff, sports stuff, Ninja Turtles, and stuff like that. So we're going to switch over here, and we'll start with Doom Runners first. Oh, sorry about that. Doom Runners was a TV movie that was shown on Nickelodeon back in like the late 90s, I would have to say. And all I remember about this movie was it was like a post-apocalyptic Mad Max meets like Nickelodeon kids movie, and they had a mute like friend, and then there was like this like poisonous gas. That's all I remember about it. Tried to figure out what it was, found out what it was, and then found out who the bad guy was in this film, but the one and only Tim Curry. So very excited to add this to my collection. I got this a few months ago, just to remember how it was and whatnot. But I haven't seen it since then. So kind of a cool little science fiction film. So that is Doom Runners. Now some of these films are stuff that either, like I said, there's a few in here that do have some DVD releases, but they are super expensive. And we'll go to the next one right next to it, which is The Midnight Hour. The Midnight Hour is a 80s TV movie that was on ABC, and actually aired, I believe, after Halloween. But it happens to take place on Halloween night, and there's a whole bunch of different monsters in it. It's really cool. The DVD for this goes for like over $200 on eBay and stuff. So when I was able to find a VHS copy of this, I jumped on it immediately. So I'm very excited to have this in my collection. This is on YouTube if you want to see a copy of that. And then we'll go back to the beginning here. Here's another one that does have a DVD release, but again, the DVD is out of print. So when I was able to find this, I jumped right on it. And this is the Muppets Family Christmas. This is the one from, I believe, 87. And this is the one that has the Muppets, the Sesame Street characters, Fraggle Rock characters, and they all kind of get snowed in, and they have like a big Christmas thing. I remember seeing this on TV a lot as a kid, but for some reason now, I don't know, it's just because it's owned by Disney, and maybe this one isn't, or there's rights issues with this, but this doesn't get shown a lot anymore. But it's a really cool little like 45-minute holiday movie. Definitely something that I'm going to watch again this year. Then we have Prehysteria 2, of course, the sequel to Prehysteria, by Charles Band's Full Moon Pictures production. This one only has a VHS release, so very cool to have that one. And a lot of these I got actually recently. Like I said, I started getting back into getting DVD or VHSs, excuse me. But like I said, I'm only trying to get stuff that's like really obscure and things like that. So the next is A Bullet for Sandoval, and that has George Hilton and Ernest Borgnine, and it's just like kind of a cool little Western. And the Immortal Masters, this looks like it is I haven't checked this one out yet, but it's kind of, I would say maybe like a trailer / documentary kind of compilation thing that goes through different martial artists, and then if they were in any movies, kind of like their clips and stuff. Then I have a Sinister Cinema release. This is a company which you actually can still get stuff from them, and it is they just have a whole bunch of releases, and they got some pretty cool covers. But again, this was one, it's The Shadow from 1939, so I'm guessing it's probably one of the serials, like as a movie form, and of The Shadow. But just kind of the box art and stuff is really cool on that. So again, that's something that you don't see a lot of, so something kind of cool to get. And speaking of box art, this is Gladiator. And you're like, well, Joe, Gladiator, they have tons of releases of Gladiator. Yes, but with the Blockbuster new release box, I want to just get something that I can show, put up somewhere else that shows kind of, something, a relic of the Blockbuster days. And we're going to swing over here real quick. I also got this tape, which is kind of cool. Is a Blockbuster blank tape. Yes, Blockbuster sold blank tapes that you could record, whatever you wanted to record off TV or whatever. Never seen this before. You see the standard, blank tapes or whatever, but never one that is a Blockbuster one. So it's kind of cool. So that will go kind of in this area with all my other kind of memorabilia, and this will probably move over there as well. Then we have Earth, which is a early Russian cinema film. It's by this Video Yesteryear kind of label. So I found one of these ones. It's kind of cool. Again, something you don't see very often. Four-Sided Triangle, it's a science fiction film by Hammer Studios, part of the Hammer Collection, which is also Anchor Bay release. This one, again, the DVD of this is super expensive. So to find this for super cheap, I think this was 50 cents for this one. Kind of cool. Let's Pretend is actually not a VHS. In a VHS container, really cool artwork on there. But it's actually a whole bunch of cassettes that has different radio programs, like old-time video programs. Then we have Mystic Knights of Terra Nog. This was by Saban Entertainment, who did Power Rangers, Beetleborgs, all those kind of shows from the 90s. And this was a late 90s, kind of trying to keep the tokusatsu alive and well. And this was kind of their tempo, doing like a medieval Scottish type thing with like Power Rangers pretty much. And so you had the different elements. Kind of a cool concept, and one that was a little more stronger than some of the other ones that were out there. But again, it was kind of at the end of Power Rangers popularity, so it really kind of didn't get, the attention it needed. Then we have Universal Studios Florida video, hosted by John Forsythe. It is the Experience the Magic of Movies. This comes actually right from you can tell right there, has the Universal Studios logo on that. But yes, came right from there, and it talks about the rides, some behind the scenes. It goes into the King Kong ride, which I always thought was kind of cool. Then we have Steve Allen's Meeting of the Minds, Volume 1. So Steve Allen, kind of comedian, took some people and kind of did a kind of a philosophy type thing with he would take people and they would be people from history and kind of their worldviews on stuff. So then we have A Day at the Magic Kingdom, another kind of Disney look behind the curtain type thing. Then we have A Christmas with Gumby. And like I said, a lot of these were 50 cents and under. So very cool to get kind of this kind of stuff. This one was not $2.99, but this one is More Great Homes of Rochester. It was a production by WXXI, as you can see, from Rochester, New York, my hometown. Just, again, something local that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else. This is something that if somebody had this and they were getting rid of their VHS releases, they would just be like, okay, this is going in the garbage. Nobody's going to want this. But to have something that, is local but also kind of, something you wouldn't find as often in the wild. Then we have Codename Wild Geese, a action film starring Ernest Borgnine, Lee Van Cleef, Klaus Kinski. Yeah, another one that just doesn't have a release, so very cool. Now this one does have a release now and does have a Blu-ray. Paul Rudd's favorite film that he always brings on, I believe Conan or Jimmy Fallon, one of them, and it's Mac and Me. I've never actually seen a Mac and Me copy in the wild, so this is one I was like, oh hey, you know what? I'm just gonna pick it up. Again, that's one that kind of breaks the rule, but for 50 cents, I was like, you know what? Sure, that's fine. Then if for people that were born in the late 80s, early 90s, they might remember Timmy the Tooth. This was on, I believe it was on Fox or whatever, but this thing was, I'm not gonna lie, when I was a kid, I was kind of a little bit, like, creeped out about it. I don't know why. I think just because it was, like, a puppet of a giant tooth, and it was just, like, weird. But yeah, you don't see this out that much. This is Big Mouth and Gulch. So this must be just an episode of it or so. Then we have Hambone and Hilly. This is first off, it's sealed, which is kind of cool. But Cool Duder, he had a YouTube video where he went to Scarecrow Video in Seattle last year or whatnot, and he was looking through the videos, and he went through the kids section, and he saw this film, and so I was like, hey, I've seen that one before. This one has O.J. Simpson in it, so it's probably from the 70s, I would say, when he was doing most of his acting, 70s or early 80s. So kind of cool to add this, especially too because it's factory sealed and whatnot. Then we got Robert Altman's Quintet with Paul Newman. So this one again, there is a release of it, but it's super expensive. So very cool to have that. We'll swing down here. We have a Pop-Tarts comedy video. So something that probably came with a box of Pop-Tarts, or you had to send in for it. So that, again, kind of weird, obscure stuff that you wouldn't see anywhere else. And then we have Nightmaster, an action film with Nicole Kidman. Then we have Scared Silly, The Wacky Adventures of Ronald McDonald. These were from, I want to say, the late 90s. And there was a whole bunch of these that you can get at McDonald's or whatnot. And then we have this cool beta tape of Tron. Now, again, you're saying, Joe, Tron's on Blu-ray and stuff. Yes, it is. But just look at the artwork on it. That's so cool. And that's something that'd be a sweet poster. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to pick that up. Then we have Alien Space Avenger. Just a science fiction film. Then we have The Mouse and the Motorcycle, an ABC Kid Time release. For those that remember, again, as a 90s kid, Kid Time, I believe, came after One Saturday Morning. I may be not 100% on that, but I do remember that, at least for me, you would watch the One Saturday Morning cartoons and shows and stuff. Like, they had the Fudge that was based on, like, Super Fudge and Tales of 4-3 Nothing. They had... Science Court or whatever it was, and Bump in the Night and those kind of shows, and then and Recess and all that, and then at the in the afternoon, like at noon or whatever, they would switch over to these like movies of the week, and Mouse and the Motorcycle was one of them. There's like a whole bunch of them that it would show. So that's how I remember that one. Then Atlantis, the Underwater City, just a kids movie that I couldn't find anything on. So a lot of it, when you're looking up obscure VHSs and stuff, it's either educational stuff, it's kids movies, it's horror, science fiction, or like documentary stuff. That's the most you'll find, like cartoons, old cartoons, stuff like this that, it was like some company put this out and that was it. excuse me, some of them would have more, which is coming up, would have more releases, but just that kind of stuff, stuff like this, that's the obscure stuff. If people are going out and looking, not looking up, oh, look, here's a thing of Star Wars, there's 18, different releases of Star Wars, but stuff like this or, oh, look, here's Aladdin and stuff. Yeah, I mean, you're going to find Aladdin a lot. It's a common thing, but some of this more obscure stuff is what you really, if you are going to be starting to collect VHSs, is what to be looking for. The next one is Fighting Black Kings. It's a really cool documentary. I got this a few months ago as well, about U.S. karate champions that were, I believe, yeah, it was 4 African American gentlemen that go to the karate championships in the first international karate tournament. And kind of this is like their story and stuff like that. This, again, I saw in a video that was about Scarecrow Video. If you don't know what Scarecrow Video is, definitely look it up. It's this really cool place that's in Seattle. I really hope one day I go and visit it. And they have, I think they have like over 100,000 titles. They have a ton. That might be wrong. It might be 250,000. And so it's just crazy amount of stuff they have. But this is one that the one guy was talking about in the video of a documentary. So very cool to pick that one up. Next, I have the Pebble and the Penguin, and this one does have Blu-ray releases, DVD releases, and stuff, but what I got this for was for what was inside, and it has Wegmans home video. For those that are in the Rochester area and the surrounding areas, there's a big chain of grocery stores around here called Wegmans, and they used to have a video store in their stores. The issue now is you can't find any of this. You can't find anything with this stuff on there. Once in a blue moon, there was on eBay. There was one of their pamphlet kind of booklet things, upcoming releases. Gone. You can't find it anymore. They had a sign at this place that I was getting some of these from. Gone. So you really can't find it, especially find stuff in the wild. So when I saw this, I was like, oh, I have to pick that one up. Next one, Lone Wolf McQuade with Chuck Norris. You're saying, well, Joe, hold on. This has a Released by Scorpion release that just came out. Yes, but it's the Vestron video release of it. So a one that, again, just like I would say Mac and Me, something that has a release, but something you don't see, especially a Vestron release, that, hey, I'll pick that up. Then we have Shelley Duvall's Bedtime Stories. Yes, the actress Shelley Duvall looks like she did a different cartoon stories and stuff, so very cool. Next one is another beta tape of Walt Disney's Love Leads the Way. So these are the 2 beta tapes that I have, this one and the other one. I could not find anything on if there's any other releases of this movie. So it was really cool to find this. Then we have the late 90s Alice in Wonderland movie that is chock full of people. Whoopi, Ben Kingsley, Christopher Lloyd, you got George Wendt, Gene Wilder, Martin Short. So this one, again, is another one that does have a DVD release, but it is kind of expensive. So, again, 50 cents or a lot of money, you go 50 cents there. Then we have Get Bruce. Yes, Bruce Vilanch, everybody. Again, 90s kids and early 2000s, we remember when he was on Hollywood Squares. And so this is just a movie that, again, isn't on anything. No DVD or Blu-ray release of that. Then we have this Creepy Classics, a haunting, hilarious video produced exclusively for Walmart, starring the one and only Vincent Price. I'm gonna say this is 88. Yeah, I would say he looks kind of old there, and that's definitely how he kind of looked in Edward Scissorhands and stuff. So definitely later Vincent Price, and again, factory sealed. Then we have A Town Like Alice. Again, something that couldn't find anything on. It's kind of cool there. And then we'll skip the last three because they're kind of cool. Next one is a screener copy of Robert Patrick in Hong Kong in 97. Cool little action film. Ming Na Wan, who she is the voice of Mulan and was in the Street Fighter movie, and Marvel fans will know her as Agent May in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Now, the last three are kind of cool. Two are big boxes, and one is kind of a different release. The first one is Curse of the Black Widow. Look how cool this box is. This is a big box. This was from 76, directed by Dan Curtis, who did a whole bunch of stuff. Trilogy of Terror, the Dark Shadows stuff, the Frank Langella, I believe, Dracula. I think he did that one. Or he might have done the other Dracula, but either or. Very cool. Again, this one is not on DVD or Blu-ray, but how cool is that? And then another big kind of one that is, I got this for super cheap. It's a little banged up, you know, there's little holes there here and there. But these are super hard to find. And this is an episode of the Spectre Man TV show. So for those that like tokusatsu and Godzilla and stuff like that. But look how cool this box art is. Just awesome. And these are extremely hard to find. So when I found one for decently priced, I hopped on that. These are really, really cool. And then last is not a VHS and not a beta, or not like that weird cassette one, but this is movie CD. Yes, movie CD was another format that you would use for Windows 95 or Windows 3.1, so you'd have to use that kind of system. And what it is, they are like almost like CD-ROMs. So this is a format that, of course, you know, kind of obsolete and stuff, but kind of a cool find to have. This is the Alien Autopsy. This is one they showed on Fox when, like, the Roswell, New Mexico case, you know, for those that are big to aliens, there's supposedly a UFO crash there in 47, was kind of big. And this, I want to say also too, this was when, like, X-Files was hitting it big too. So a movie CD, something you don't find, you know, like this in the beta and things like that. Like, these kind of obscure formats are really cool too. And I hope to add some more different ones. There's video CD. There's the Video Now ones that were the stuff that you could get for, like, your Game Boy or stuff. There were mini DVDs. Everybody remembers the DVDs that were like this small. They almost look like the GameCube ones. So, but that is my kind of obscure and kind of very more hard to find VHSs. Like I said too, you know, I got stuff down there and, you know, stuff over there. But again, both those kind of groups are more they're more commonly found stuff. A lot of Disney stuff. You know, I have some Batman VHSs. I have some Schoolhouse Rock, some sports ones, some, like I said, over there, Star Wars and stuff like that. Some holiday ones. So that kind of stuff is more of like the more common stuff that you will find all the time, but the stuff over here. So comment below, do you guys collect any VHSs? My horror fans out there, there's tons that are still not on DVD or Blu-ray. So, you know, what do you have that you found either out in the wild, or do you peruse, you know, eBay for stuff? Comment below. Also, where's your go-to place if you do collect, you know, VHSs or any other kind of formats, the movie CDs, the laser disc, or whatever? Where do you get yours? Also comment below. Guys, remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more awesome videos. I hope everyone is well. It's now getting kind of cold out there, so I hope everybody's staying warm and stuff. But next week, we are going to be looking at some new Vinegar Syndrome releases, as their sale is going to be happening the week after. So get ready for that next week. And remember, everyone, be kind and rewind. See you guys later.